If you're looking for real estate in New York City right now, you might be noticing that the carrying costs, that's the monthly common charges and the real estate taxes, or if you're buying a co-op, the maintenance, seem pretty high. A lot of buyers that I'm talking to are noticing that. And in fact, the costs have gone up. There's a lot of different reasons why the costs have gone up, not the least of which is inflation. And also just in general, the costs of getting things done in a building, starting with capital improvements. It's no secret that construction costs have become more expensive since COVID. And a lot of the things that the buildings require to be maintained, including first and foremost, which everybody knows about now if you're dabbling in New York real estate, the facade, what was formerly known as Local Law 11, which is maintaining the facade of the building, has become incredibly expensive, especially for a pre-war building, because guess what? Pre-war buildings are not getting any younger, they're only getting older. So the infrastructures are needing more work. In addition to that, the costs were exacerbated because a lot of buildings, exercising sensitivity to the shareholders, deferred a lot of the required work from COVID in order to, be sensitive to people's hardships and what have you during COVID. Jobs were deferred and a lot of the capital improvements were deferred until now. So it's created this perfect storm where you're seeing a lot of assessments, you're seeing a lot of increased carrying costs, and a lot of that relates to maintaining the infrastructure. But let me tell you what the silver lining is. If you've got high carrying costs, or what you perceive as high carrying costs, you're coming from, let's say, a home in Westchester where your taxes may be $60,000, $70,000, $80,000 a year, it's relatively affordable. The real estate taxes in New York relative to the values is actually fairly low. But on top of that, the other half of your maintenance or your common charges, if you're buying a condo, covers the carrying costs, the monthly carrying costs for a full staff of people. If you've got a full service building, your costs are going to be a little bit higher. But with that full service building, you have a full-time doorman and or a concierge. You've got porters, you've got handymen, you've got everybody at your beck and call, making your life that much easier, as opposed to calling the handyman if you're in the suburbs, who, by the way, has increased his fees exponentially since COVID. I don't know if you've noticed, for those of you that live in the suburbs or if you own a home somewhere. What you're getting is the benefit of a full service building. On top of that, if you're living in a luxury condo, less so with co-ops because they're older buildings, but if you're living in a luxury condo, you've got all sorts of amenities that need to be maintained, but you're getting the benefit of those amenities. So you may have a pool, you may have a gym, you may have a dog spa, you may have a children's playroom. So what you get with that is no more daycare costs if you have somebody watching the kids in the playroom. You've got no more pool club. You've got no more gym fees if you want to use the building facilities. So what that means is that you have to prioritize what's important to you when you're looking for a property. Certainly when you're looking in a full service building with all sorts of amenities, your costs are going to be higher. If none of that stuff is important to you, you can certainly offset some of those costs by finding an apartment or a property or building with less of those things, even right down to a non-doorman building, where I assure you the costs are relatively less across the board. Well, people are noticing that costs are up in New York City. That's true everywhere. Costs are just up. There's inflation, there's increased, costs associated with construction, maintenance. Real estate taxes are up everywhere in the country to maintain the infrastructures of the locales. With that, you're getting all sorts of benefits and a totally different lifestyle living in a full service building in New York City. No two buildings are ever exactly the same. That's where I come in. I'm here to help you differentiate what's important and what's not important, and also ensure that you're not going to invest in a building that might have financial issues, because those buildings are out there. I look forward to speaking with you soon.